Welcome to the database part for a paper done in October, November 2025. In today's paper, I'm going to do the part for databases, which is task 3. I have my evidence document ready, and because I'll need it to take some screenshot and I've already put my candidate details there, I do also have every file ready before I start. So in the first question, I'm told that we're now going to prepare some report. Dates must be imported as day, month, year. Make sure that all the required data is fully visible. You have to ensure that your date is set, your computer date is set to day, month, year. If it's not set, you can go to the control panel in case you're using Windows. Click on change date, time, number, format, and then look out for English United Kingdom. Usually the dates will change to day, month, year because UK uses that format. We are told that use database software to import J2521 learners. So I'm going to create a database and I'll save it as learners. So I'll right click in the folder. I encourage you always to do that because for databases, if you just go to start and open access from there, sometimes you fail to know where your work is saved. So it's safer when you right click and save using this process. So after doing so, I'll go ahead and do the needful import J2 521 learners to my access, go to external data. I get to that, then I'll click on learners first, click OK. First row contains field names because usually the first row contains field names. Okay, next, then you start working on the data types, click on advanced, and then check out on the data types you're given. Surname is text, forename, gender, all those are text, and indeed they are. Then learner number is number, integer, I'll leave it to integer. Date is date or time. And then I do have telephone number. I see it is long integer. It's important to put it to text because telephone numbers are always text for the reasons that in most cases there is a leading zero, or at times there is a space, or at times there is a leading plus symbol. And some others will have like hyphens in between and such. So we have to make sure that we leave them as text. Everything else is text. Maybe online application, it's Boolean. We should set this to yes or no. And then we go ahead with our database. It told us to choose a primary key as learner number. So I'll make sure that my learner number is the primary key selected. Go ahead, I'll remove this. Make sure I save this as table learners. Okay. I see, okay, here I still have checkboxes. I'm going to fix that. And then also the dates, I'll make sure it is a day, month, year. Okay, and should be a medium date like this. So I need to fix those too. So I'll go to the design view, start with the date of birth. Make sure that the format is medium date. That's what I have. Then again, online application. Then here it should show yes or no, but you go to a lookup and then change it to show a text box. Okay, and then I'll go back. Yes, this is fixed and this is also fixed. Telephone numbers, everything else seems to be fine. So I can go ahead and take a screenshot. This is step 15. So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot. Personally, I prefer going through insert. Click on step 15, go to insert screenshot, screen clipping, and then you take that screenshot. Make sure that table name is fully visible. Make sure that the field names are also fully visible. Make sure that the primary key can also be seen, because those are things that will be looked out for when you're marking. And then after doing that question, save the data. Okay, I've done this. Those are 4 marks so far. I'll go ahead, import access as a new table, set all the data types to text, and set AA code as the primary key, and still go ahead and place a screenshot in the evidence document. So I'll go back to my database and external data from file. Here I look out for access, click OK. The limited first row contains field names. Okay, this is text, text, text. You can always also use advanced. It makes it easier. And then they told us to make AA code the primary key. So make sure it's a primary key. And this is my table access. Okay, I open it. Make sure that learners is now closed as you take a screenshot. Okay, then you go ahead and open your evidence document for step 16. You take that screenshot and keep it in your evidence document. Still, the same things should be fully visible, the table name, and then the data types and the primary key should be seen very well. Okay, then examine class and identify the most appropriate data to use as a primary key. Close this problem. So for me to examine that, I'll go to class, I'll open it, make sure that my data fits. Okay, I'm going to use conditional formatting. So I'll click on conditional formatting. I put new rule, format only unique or duplicate values. Here, make sure that you have duplicate, and then go ahead and format, fill it with a color. Okay, and then see which field is not highlighted with any color. That field has got no duplicates. So it's going to be class ref, and it also makes sense. Table being class, so class reference, okay, is likely to be the primary key. So I'll close it, don't save. I'll just go ahead and import it as directed in the paper. So for file, I'll look for class. Okay, first row contains field names. Work on the data types. When you check out on the data types, everything else is text apart from YAB group, which is numeric integer. And indeed, it is the case here. So I'll move on, choose a primary key, class ref. Okay, so this is my table class. And then I'll finish. I'll also need to take a screenshot of its design view to show. Okay, step 17, insert, screenshot, and then screen clipping. You can also use other methods, like using a snipping tool and such, but this one works well, especially if I'm not taking screenshots of dialog boxes that are in Word. So I'll proceed to the next step. So far, I have 7 marks, just like that. Create relationships, AA code and AA code, and access table and learners. So I'll close all my tables, go to database tools, relationships. I'll add all the tables I do have here, and then make sure that you can see all the fields. And then you go ahead, AA code in access, and I said AA code and AA code in table learners. So I'll drag AA code, drop it onto AA code, enforce referential integrity, and then it's also important, though it's not mandatory to use join type, the second option, then click create, you get the first relationship created. And then the other one is a primary key we identified, and then the class code. So I have class ref and then class code here, enforce, option 2, and then yeah. Now, you will not be able to enforce referential integrity in case you have the tables open. That is something you need to know and appreciate. You may also not be able to enforce, actually not be able to enforce referential integrity in case you're mapping two records that don't have the same data. So you have to always check out for such. Okay, so I have my tables, my relationships created. They're telling me to also take a screenshot and then show the types of relationships created, which are one-to-many relationships. So I'll go ahead here in step 18, start screenshot, screen clipping. I may need to take a screenshot of this, okay? But it's also important that you go ahead and take a screenshots of these windows, and this helps you to see the type of relationship, which is one-to-many. So I'll go ahead and do that, screenshot, screen clipping. That is one of them. And then the other one, let me close this. I'll also go ahead, edit this relationship. I just double click, or you can right click on it and edit. Okay, you should also be able to get this relationship created. The screenshot, sorry, created. Just a moment. Okay, they're still big. Let me reduce the size so that they can be able to fit this space here. Okay, so make sure that you have evidence of all this. It's very important. And then the next thing I'll do is to move on, add the following as a new record in the learners table. Here they didn't specify how we should add it, but we can, at times they do specify that we use a form, but here they didn't tell us to use a form. So let us just copy and paste it to the learners table. To remember that when you're doing your papers, you're having hard copies, so you should get used to typing and make sure that you don't make any errors as you type. So, yes, surname is that, phone name is Emma, then gender is female, and then I'll add the ID, the date of birth, and then I'll add that contact, the telephone number, the email address. You have to type. Make sure that you don't make any mistakes as you're typing. Okay. And this is no. Okay, it's already set to no. After doing that, make sure that you save so that your record gets added to your database, to your table. So it's very important to make sure that you save all your objects. When you're told to create a form, please, you have to enter the record via a form. But in this case, they never told us to use a form. And usually when you're told to create a form and enter data, this data via a form, you require to take a screenshot of the form view. But here it's not the case. We're not required to take any screenshot, but make sure that you don't make any errors, because when you identify any errors in your work, we may end up penalizing you. Then question 20, using fields from all the tables, produce a tabular report, selects data where records, selects records where gender is female, and then access arrangement includes time. This means that we're going to use queries, shows only fields, learner number, forename, surname, and then that in that order, and then the rest follows. Usually, you have to first check out on the fields that you be needed to have on your query. So we shall need learner number. Okay. Once I see this kind of question that says where this record is this, where this record is that, you know that you're going to start with a query. So I'll go ahead and then create a query. I prefer using a query wizard. Click OK. So the first field that is needed is a learner number, and I can see it from here. Then I also need phone name and surname. So I'll pick phone name, I'll pick surname, date of birth, gender, DOB, in that order, gender, okay, year, group, class, Okay, year group class code. Year group is not here. Maybe it's in table class. Okay, and then I see they're asking for class code. I saw it in table learners. Class code next. Pick it. Then access arrangement and online application. Access arrangement is not yet, it should be in table access. And then online application, I think, is in table learners. It's here. So those are the fields that they want in that order, and make sure that everything is fully visible. So we shall go ahead, click next, and then next. My reports should have title, okay, includes only the text as a title. So my title will be this. So this report will be about access arrangements to be scheduled, then finish. It's better you first finish before you go to the design view so that you're sure that your query runs. Then after doing that, they want gender to be female. So I'll go to gender, type in female. I hope it was like that. Yes, gender is female, it works. Run the query test and see that it works. Then access arrangement includes. When they say includes, we're not so sure of where the word is time. So I'll put it in asterisks. I'll go to access arrangement, put star. They said time, and then another star, and then run and see if it works. I have around 42 records. Be worried whenever you get more than, like, for example, 80 records. Usually the records never go beyond like 70. So before you proceed to create a report, always check out on the number of records that you do have. But it's very important to ensure that the query is giving you exactly the results that you need. So after doing that, I'll go ahead now and I create my report because it seems like I've done everything that I'm supposed to do with a query. So I'll go to create, click on report wizard, pick all the fields in the same order. Make sure that you're picking from the query you just created. I hope there is no any grouping. I don't see any grouping, so make sure that you check out these kinds of views. Make sure that you pick out one that doesn't have this kind of grouping here by learners. And then here also we are not grouping. Okay, there should be something that should be sorted, but I'm not going to sort anything at this level because usually when you sort from here, the arrangement of the fields gets disorganized. So I'm not going to do that. And they said that this should be, oh, they even emphasize do not group the report. Okay, I'm not doing this question now, but page orientation is landscape. So I'll pick landscape. We're already told that you're going to produce a tabular report. So it's tabular. Okay, and my report should have the title and finish. Okay, this is how my report looks like. I'm going to close the print preview because there are lots of things I need to fix, but at least the title is already fixed. Maybe you can make it bold. You can even change. But the fact that I'm going to print on a grayscale, I can change the fill color here. Then I can also change text color to a color that will come out well when printed. Okay, then after all that, go ahead. I'm going to work now on the sorting. Let me first work on the sorting. They told us that we should sort the data into ascending order of access arrangement and descending order of your group. So I have this part down here, which has group, a sort, and then total. Okay, so I'm going to add a sort, not a group. So add a sort. They told us that it should be access arrangement, ascending order, select a field. Access arrangement should be ascending. I'm moving from top to bottom. A should be on top. And then descending order of your group, I'll add another, sorry. Let me first remove this group. I want, okay. Access arrangement, I have to add a sort, not a group. Sorry about that. So I'll add another sort. So I'm sorting by your group. So select your group. make sure that it's descending. It should be largest to smallest. Okay, yeah, group. So axis arrangement, A on top, that is ascending. Then this one is largest to smallest, which is descending. Okay, make sure that you save. The sorting is done. Okay, I'll fix this. I've worked on this. And then I'll need to make sure that my data fits on a single portrait, a single page, and prints only on 2 pages. As I do speak, when I go to my report view, okay, I say I have 1 page. Okay, print preview shows me that I have 2 pages. Yeah, so I have 2 pages so far, 1 out of 2. But I need to make sure that I work on these fields so that they can fit. I'm going to use the layout view to help me so much. I need to reclaim spaces from the fields that seem to have a lot of, can close this in the meantime. So from the fields that do seem to have a lot of space, then this one, I'll make sure that it fits like that. Okay, this fit. I need to create some more space for my date of birth. It's not yet. I hold Control to select the label on top. Okay, and the contents, actually gender had a lot of free space. See, the beauty with with sorting after creating the report is this: your fields will come when they are in the same order as requested here. Otherwise, when you sort from the wizard, it all gets somehow disorganized, and it will take you a lot of time to reorganize your fields. Okay, so I need to, okay, yeah, they're still fitting. I still have space. I have to make sure that all labels are fully visible, or else I'll risk losing some marks for ensuring that fields fit. Okay, so I'll go ahead, ensure that I give each and every field enough space that it requires. Okay, I think everything currently fits within the width of the report. The width here, these dotted lines, nothing should go beyond that dotted lines. Everything should be within. Okay, and that is my report as of now. Then includes only the text. This one we're done, it's there. This is done. This is done. Then what I'm going to work on is use as a function to display the date of birth of the youngest student and place this at the end of the report. Okay, so I'll need to get a function that helps me to get the youngest. That will be a minimum. I'll get the minimum. Is it a minimum or maximum? We shall see. And then there are these marks that I can secure very fast, ensuring that your name, center number, and candidate number is in the footer of the report. Okay, so I'm going to get to the report footer. Okay, I just closed the query. Okay, here I'll need to go to the footer and then add the details. Go to report design, pick a label, capital A, small a, and then put your and then details there. Yeah. Okay, center number and candidate number added in the footer. And then there is some calculation. I'll need to add space in the report footer. That's where we carry out the calculations from to get the youngest student, and it should have a label which is DOB of youngest student. So I'll pick a text box. It's the one that we use for calculations. I'll put it here. First of all, I'll type in date of birth of the youngest student, drag it so that it doesn't overlap. Then I'll get here. I'll need to check mean. Okay, I'm calling something from a table, so I'll use square brackets, DOB, make sure that the spellings are correct. Try going back to normal view and see. Is the youngest student? No, we have to use marks. When you use mean to pick out the lowest date. So I'll make sure that I use marks. Okay, so you need to really pay attention to such things. So the youngest student was born in 2010, and yes, that's what we do have. So members, our report looks to be ready. We've catered for everything. All you need to do is to go ahead and then under File, Print. Okay, select Print, select the printer. Okay, and then print your work. You should be able to get the file printed. This is how the report looks like. Everything looks to be perfectly fine. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and do place every, oh, there's something we've not done. Like, by the way, you have to read through each and everything. Place in your evidence document a screenshot showing the database formula used to find the youngest student. Make sure that the formula is fully visible. That is step 20. So I'll get to step 20. Under the design view, my formula is here. I'll go ahead and then also I do capture that screenshot. Capture it like that. Want to see it. Okay. Evidence is very important. You miss out on any step, you lose marks, because we need evidence as we do mark your work. Then question 21 is our next question. Using fields from all the tables, produce labels. We are going to produce labels, which select the records where AA code is AA01 and then class code is 5 or 6. That means that still we're starting with a query, because labels are reports as well and are sorted in descending order of learner number. Remember what we talked about when sorting. Use this selection to produce labels which are arranged in 2 columns and 4 rows with 8 labels. Okay, for example, each label should be 99 millimeters wide, 6 by 67.7 or in centimeters that, and then print on portrait. Orientation with a page size of that. This is A4, and then display each label like this. So we need to know the fields we are going to use. We shall need access arrangement. We shall need learner number, phone name, okay, phone name, surname, date of birth, class code, and then class tutor. But we shall, okay, class code already is here. But we shall also need the AA code, though we shall hide it because it doesn't need to appear on our labels. So I'll go ahead, close this, make sure that you're not picking a new query from a query. Pick the query again from the tables. So you create query wizard, simple query wizard, okay. So the fields we need: access arrangement, learner number, it should be in table learners, okay, learner number, phone name, surname, I'll take phone name first this time around, surname, and then date of birth, DOB, I'll need class code and class tutor. Class code, I can get it from here. Class tutor can be gotten from here. And then I also need the AA code because it's required, but it won't appear. So I'll go to access arrangement, access, to pick the AA code. Next, I've gotten all the fields I need, and my labels do not have any title. Okay. Labels, okay. Let me just call it step 21. Okay, finish. I have all the fields I need, but I know I don't need AA code to appear on my labels. So let me use it right away. And AA code should be AA01. Run the query and see if it works, and indeed it does. Then class code should be 5 or 6. So I'll get to class code, type in 5, all 6. Still run the query. There's a problem. I need to first remove this and see class code, class code, class code, class code. Okay, so the number is just contained. It's not exact. They said includes. How did I even miss this? Includes. You have to read the questions and understand it. So star, 5 star, star, 5 star, all, star, 6 star. Please, whenever they say includes, you have to just do exactly what I've done. Okay, so we have our query ready. The next thing I'll do is to go ahead and now do the rest. produce the labels. So I'll go to create, look out for labels, and the kind of labels I'll need to have. I see this is already selected. I don't know how. Okay, you can at times customize it. You can customize it. Okay, you can customize it. You can okay, I can edit. No, when you customize it, you get options to play around with all these dimensions. But the good thing is you find that we also have labels that are already created in there. Let me first remove this label. Okay, delete. Let me first delete it and close. You find that there are already labels that we have, and there are different manufacturers that we have. If you can't customize the labels, you can always go through this list. I prefer using Avery. And then as you go through the list, you find at least something close to what was given. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can always check through, like this is supposed to be 99 but it takes time. It takes time. There's average something, I think, but that will take time. Let us just customize. So you customize, click on new. After clicking on new, okay, I'll need my labels to be, okay, metric. Let's use metric. Okay. And then you see the height is here, the width is here, the long one. So they're saying that it should be 9.9 centimeters. Okay, 9.9 centimeters here by 6.77. So you go ahead, the height is 6.77, and then the width is 9.9. Okay, these are centimeters. You see they're appearing up here. Click OK. Okay, okay, and mine. Okay, 6.77, 9.9, then click OK. Sure. Oh, sorry, I've made a mistake. Edit. Number across, they said we should have two across, two columns, eh? That is number across. So you put it to 2, and then you click OK. You click OK, and then close. Our label gets added here. Click next. Don't do anything here. We shall do the formatting later. Then we need to get the layout. Access arrangement comes first, and then learner number follows. Press enter so that it goes to the next line. And then forename, surname, we have press enter. Forename, space, surname, those are on the same line. Then you have DOB, you select, press enter, and then I do have class code. Okay, so I'll pick class code. There is a minus or hyphen. Actually, there's a space, then hyphen, and then a space. Then we do have class tutor coming in like that. Don't take AA code. It's not needed. Okay, anything to be sorted, we can still sort at the end. Okay, because these are reports. But you could as well put it here, but let us sort at the end. So these are my labels that I have, and then I'll finish. So the kind of labels I do have look like this. This is my label. I need to make sure I play around with it to have it fit. Okay. And there are quite a number of them. It's not just one. When you go to print preview, okay, I'm seeing, okay. Okay, we shall fix everything. So let us get to our labels, go to the design view of the labels. There's a lot of space wasted here, which we don't want. Okay, a lot of it is wasted. And also I need to add a group under report design, group sort, add it, add a sort. It told us to sort ascending or descending order of learner number. So I'll pick a field, learner number, and should be descending largest to smallest. Okay, that is done. We are sorting. And then these are my labels. They've not told me to design them in any way. Oh, there is. So everything here is already as if sorted. Maybe one thing is it's portrait. Everything is already sorted. Okay. I use the selection, produce label, sorted. that is done. Have your name, center number, and candidate number on the left at the bottom of each label. So I'll go left, bottom of each label. Left here, around here. So I'll pick a label. I draw it here. I put my candidate details in Edward. Okay. Maybe. Okay. I've added it there. And when you go to the report view, that's how it looks like. Print preview now looks like this. Okay. Okay. Then modify only the first two lines of the label so that the text is displayed in 14-point size. So I'll go back to a design view, only the first two. Make sure that font size is 14, so that should be big. I'm going to move everything else down. I need some more space so that these ones can display well. Okay. Also, this one should be able to display well fully. The rest, let's see what they say. Center lined. So these two should as well be center lined. And then displayed in bold. You have to make sure that it's bold, okay? And then make sure all the data on every label is fully visible with no overlapping fields, and then save the labels. So you have to make sure that nothing here will overlap. Give them enough space. Give them enough space so that nothing overlaps, and indeed everything seems to be perfectly fine. Okay? Everything seems to be fine as it stands now. So that's what we do have so far, and that was all with this paper. Our labels are ready to be printed. Okay, print, okay, and still put it here to PDF. But if you have a printer connected, go ahead and print your labels. Yeah, go ahead and print your labels. It's taking time, I don't know why. Maybe it encountered. Yeah, these are my labels. This is how they look like. Seem to have several pages. In the setup, there is something that I didn't set up well, but everything else must be fine. I'm sure when I was creating the labels, there's something I did. These ones are supposed to all appear on the same page. Something I really needed to ensure that I fix well. So that is it. Thank you so much for following through. Yeah, catch you up in the next session as we work on another paper. Bye.